Hey, it's Candia Raquel, founder of Centro de Poder. Welcome to the Sensual Sessions, the place to explore sensuality as sensing, pleasure through your senses, and expressing freely. Today we have a very special guest. This is Simonetta Alessandri. She's a dance artist and somatic educator based in London. She teaches Feldenkrais method in many places, in Trinity, Laban, in the Goldsmiths University, and in the London Contemporary Dance School. Welcome, Simonetta. It's an honor to have you here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. Yeah. Happy to be here.
So I read two things that Simonetta wrote that really touched me, especially after the pandemic times, that we are facing so many challenges and feel disoriented in our lives. So she wrote this applied to the dance experience, but I will like to know more about this perspective and how can this help us. So she said about.
Can you repeat again? I missed you for you disappeared for a sec.
Yeah, of course. So I will ask you about how to deal with the unexpected, as we have failed with the pandemic. And you said about playing with momentum and maintaining equilibrium in the ever disorienting relationship with the space. So that was like, wow, like revealing for me, like, oh, it's possible to dance while being in a disorienting situation, and not only dance, but play with momentum, with the timing, and maintain equilibrium. Like, how do you do that? I need to invite Simonetta and tell us more about this. So would you share about your perspective?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So there are a lot of points actually here. Also, I want to make a little clarification. So I teach Feldenkrais in relation to dance, in combination to dance in the dance conservatoire institution, or for a drama department in university. So I also teach pure Feldenkrais for open groups, and then, just to specify that and this is actually something that I consider. So my expertise, I've been playing since 2002 when I finished my education in Feldenkrais, also for a while. But as you know, as soon 20 years almost. I graduated in 2002 in Feldenkrais. So, at the beginning, as soon as you start Feldenkrais, anyways, even if you're not fully, a teacher, but still in your system, in your, as soon as you start. So, I've been dealing for quite a while. So you were talking about disorientation. So I and also you asked me to make a little connection between the dance and the So my training is in dance is more traditional. So it's like traditional. I train ballet, jazz, contemporary, modern, and then I encounter content improvisation, and then I start to really to switch my direction as a dancer, as a choreographer, as a teacher. And then the combination with Feldenkrais really was, and is carry on, kind of in this direction, a direction that is, there is never ending research, I would say. I teach, I would say that I always teach Feldenkrais a little bit when I teach dance, even when I don't say I'm teaching, I will teach Feldenkrais, because it stays there in your way to approach movement, is very present. And then sometimes actually I do, for instance, I teach experiential anatomy at Trinity Laban, and then I I explain what you do, guys, it will be Feldenkrais. And then we will explore some, this is connected more to the technique vocabulary of a contemporary dancer. So it will be connected and with exploration in this way. But I think Feldenkrais is very interesting in general for any dance artist and student and practitioner, because it's like not only for the functionality of movement to the, always open research about it, and for the establish of the, the inner authority it gives to the dancer, to the artist. But also I think is in general helping to anyone to be open to the unknown, because with Feldenkrais we are not, we are trying to avoid repetition that are automatic, no? So we are looking for that state of mind and research in the body where you are really exploring what you don't know. Yeah, so I think this is central in Feldenkrais, and it's something that you can find also in contact improvisation, even though contact improvisation is, we can just open a big discussion about the vocabulary of contact improvisation that actually becoming more and more defined, is already much more kind of defined. But anyway, so there's this, as a dance practice, as this kind of, open research. So you may learn skills, but actually the idea is like you're always finding new situation, solution, possibilities. So, yes. So I would say the open to so your question about opening to the unknown, to the actually your question was more to the ever changing, no, and also especially now, no, nowadays is. I think the Feldenkrais, and you took this description from a workshop from Feldenkrais into contact improvisation, so, and also contact improvisation are really helping us to be able to maintain a state of calm and openness in relation to what we don't know. Yes. No, so they're open to find a different things, find a different way, a different journey, a different pathway, a different idea about movement, a different opinion, and this for sure is helping in general to be more flexible when we are in situations that are, unstable and changing all the time. So I think this is really, and sometimes also this is a different concept to I would say to teach to young students, because they have discovered, they want to become better and better and good. So there's a sense of accumulating information. So, and then say, so this is good. Actually, boom, Feldenkrais is kind of questioning everything, no? Opening everything, asking you to say, to be open to questions. So really to open to the unknown. And sometimes it's very destabilizing. So it's important also to do this in a way that is not creating an earthquake and a tsunami, but actually you are gradually introduced to the idea. So you are building gradually your possibility to respond, yes, to the world outside. Yeah. Yes. And I think in calming the nervous system is one of the important things. So, and then, connection to the floor, connection to the earth, to the, is one of the I think the number one thing. So calm down and feel the connection to the earth. And so from there, you will feel, your body, your breathing, and then you can start to go and to open.
Loving this, to start with the connection with the earth, because when we are in unknown circumstances, well, at least I'm speaking for myself, like on the pandemic, moving to another place, and I really feel that everything that I've done personally, like with somatic movement and like practicing awareness, helped me a lot to accommodate the change. But I notice, like every 5 seconds every day, like, okay, instead of being calm and open in the change, I am actually tense and anxious, like shut down. And what happens is that it restricts my ability. If I was dancing, I would have frozen in the stage. And in life, in a certain way, it inhibits my ability to see what's really going on there, like to explore reality and to make mature decisions and have authority on my doing. So what you say, it's like like liberating, like, well, of course, start with a safe context and build gradually. And yeah, like being open and calm to the unexpected. And it's a way to relating to reality, to the now, and to be more driven by curiosity than to staying fixed. And on that state, dance. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, Simonetta. And you also mentioned about having an ownership and a sense of pleasure in your dance. So dance as an action, as an expression, as a way of doing. How can we get a sense of ownership and pleasure when we are dancing? When we are dancing at stage, which is your expertise, and maybe for that are listening, how can we dance more like in our lives in this ever-changing reality that also opens all the possibilities for creativity?
Yeah. But I think so. Is the ownership is really coming from, I think, more from Feldenkrais, this word, and I think there's something about the coming back to very basic principles. So exactly the floor, contact with the floor, and then a simple and I would say tools where you are discovering and reinforcing the sense, the felt sense of of yourself moving, of yourself dancing. And I think there is I think it's kind of a journey of questioning, exploring, and somehow recognize the roots of your movement, the root, embracing maybe, I don't know, habit or questioning habit, but because you have been exploring through movement, I would say, with Feldenkrais first, and then after in dance, you are more able and calm also to make choices, but also to recognize, to see. It's like you feel something, you feel, okay, that movement feel good, and you recognize there's something good there, no? Is recognizing probably the ease, the how is recognizing the functionality in terms of ease and in terms of simplicity, recognizing something that first you sense, no? Then you can reflect, you can speak about. But also the journey in its own is kind of, I would say, reinforcing your roots. Even if you're questioning, maybe you make in terms of neuroplasticity, new connection, new route, but also you are reinforcing, because you're questioning. It's kind of, you go with a lens, you're looking into, you're practicing into. So, and I think this is giving a sense of ownership, because you judge from yourself and you feel, this is better than actually that. I feel so good here. I can experience that. I can, and then coming back a little bit to what I'm doing in life, and in general with a lot of people, also no professional dancer or no future professional dancer, like questioning and giving them back the power to decide what is good is an incredible thing. It's like, they are not used to. Our society is much easier to ask, to have somebody else outside opinion that said, okay, this is right. Okay, this is right. So reinforce this outside. Actually, the authority is an inner authority, is you. And I think coming in and exploring more the second, the pleasure. The pleasure is like when you are rooted, when you are open to the question, but also when you're open to the question, you also recognize things. No, if I think a Feldenkrais class, so you do some movement, exploration, then you go back and you say, oh, my shoulders are closer to the floor. So you recognize something that has happened, and also you may learn gradually to take in consideration all of these different sense of rightness, of good that you feel, no? And I think all of these are really helping to have also a sense of pleasure. Sense of pleasure is coming from, something that is simply good, that is working well. Yes. And is working well. It could go even, because maybe pleasure is, you can think about more sensuality. It could go absolutely also in this direction, no? Why not? But at first, there's a sense of pleasure that is coming from feeling good, feeling well, yes. No? Yes. It is work, like a sense of satisfaction of your own action and your own movement. Then you can go even more, because the beauty of all of these also method, like you can use these to direct more towards a sensual exploration, or to, why not? But and so there are also different nuances of the pleasure, no? Yes. And but also pleasure, yes, is really like so simple, just feeling good in how you sit, how you speak, yes. How you breathe, how you perform a little movement, how you, and also there are variations of these. There are moments where the pleasure is full, and the other maybe less. So it's not something static. But yeah, is a very interesting question. And then I think sensuality, you can go also more in that direction, like and exploring even more. What does it mean? How is the sense of pleasure related to something that is more like a sensuality? How
it can go everywhere, to intimacy, or to exactly. Enjoying a delicious chocolate or a fragrance or the landscape. And what you say, it's fundamental for health and for living, that pleasure, it's nuanced, and it's not something steady and linear. It has many shapes, and it's connected with the ease of efficiency. So I trained with Royal Ballet and then with Graham technique, and there was like an atmosphere of heroic martyrdom and I believe a fake stoicism. not with the really good teachers, but in general, there's like a no pain, no gain mentality of pushing hard that only leads to burnout, and pleasure it's stigmatized as if one was indulging in pleasure and was like being mediocre by enjoying instead of pushing hard. So it's actually the
See,
other way around, because
the mythology, sorry,
yes,
I interrupt you, but you touch such a good point. So the mythology of like the myth, no mythology, the
yes,
myth of you know, working very hard, and so you gain a lot of, yeah, it's so present in, you know, in you know, in method, or in I would say like in ballet, for instance, but also some dance technique. There is something on the back when I see young student, no, it's like you really need to. It is no part of their vocabulary. Pleasure in dance it's very rare.
yes,
Like you need to suffer. You need to suffer a lot. You need to, or at least you have to work very hard. You know, I don't want to say that. I think there is a component of this that is you know, exists. It's like, but you know, there are some level of depending on what you want to achieve really in your life, yeah. But anyways, even if you want to be the most virtuoso in the world, there's not that you just have to work hard. Often I say to students, look, actually, when you see a very incredible good dancer, like even like the ballerina, no, and then there's something about how they move that is like is effortless. It's like you don't see any of the struggle. You see like you say it's so simple. You say, but I can dance like this. You like there is a kind of an encouragement somehow. Not completely 100%, but you know, like you know how I can do that. You know, like so. I often say that. Also to say, you know, because when you struggle, when you force, when you go against, like, you know, your system, you show this in everywhere. This is something very difficult to, especially at the beginning of the training of the student, and also after when you are engaging in professional life, because. You know, is difficult because you need to rehearse, you need to do classes, you need to do that. And then where is the pleasure for the dance? Yeah. So I'm teaching now this workshop in Italy, in Puglia, Casina Settarte, where with a friend of colleague of mine, and there is also Feldenkrais teacher. We teach Feldenkrais in connection to contact improvisation and improvisation. And, you know, and I've been doing this for many, many years. And, you know, often we have this kind of group, very mixed group of participants from not really beginner, but no professional, to professionals. And they come there and then they say, wow, you help me, you refresh, you support the pleasure of dancing. I'm dancing not because I have to do it, no, but I rediscover the pleasure, and this is I think is an important part. You know, like is healthy, yeah. It will help you to be in touch with your body, to dance for longer in your life, and but also I think it will show in the performance of a person that is actually considering it.
Yes, and it makes me think that the ease and the pleasure in dancing by no means lousiness or laziness, but on the contrary, there's a discipline to the awareness that leads to pleasure. There's maybe you're not sweating and trembling and hurting yourself, which is like going for brutal effort, but there's even a pleasurable effort by the way you direct your attention and explore yourself. and the continuous like work to unfold to the ever-changing present in your body. So actually, it's what you said with the good dancers. They really do amazing things in an expression of mastery and maturity that I believe it's such a pleasure for them that it becomes pleasurable for the spectator, or well,
Yeah.
in many ranges. So would you share with us a little exercise image, poem, or something to get a sense of this? Just a little taste.
Okay. Yeah. So what we can do? Maybe you can do something about sitting. Yeah. So sitting. Yeah. So you want me to show something that is connected to Feldenkrais, to dance,
Yeah.
to whatever.
To whatever. We can do a mini dance.
Okay.
Whatever you feel like.
Okay. So I will try to be short. So you can arrive sitting in on a chair, soft with maybe a pillow underneath. Then on the edge of the chair, with both hands on your legs, and then find a comfortable way to stay. Yeah. And also, yeah, so don't try too hard. And notice how you sit there. So how your feet are in contact with the floor. Feel your sitting bone in contact with the chair, with the pillow, your pelvis, yeah, and your spine, your rib cage, the sensation where your shoulders are, your head on top. Now, spend a moment to listen to your breathing. So see where you change, where where the air goes in your body when you are inhaling, and what is changing when you are exhaling, which area of your body are changing. Okay. And then now see how the weight is shared between the two sit bones. And feel if there's one of the two that's much more, has a little bit more clear contact. Maybe you don't know. Let's see if you have it. And then now think about lifting a little bit one sit bones from the chair, from the pillow. Yeah. So lifting one sit bone. Imagine that you want to put. You can also imagine that you want to put your hands under between your sit bones and your yeah. Okay, and you go back to the middle. Carry on doing this a few times. Yeah, you see, you want to maybe put your hand under the side of your pelvis that is getting, lighter. And see, what do you do with that? How you shift the weight on the other sit bone. So, for instance, if you're lifting your right, you probably shift your weight on your left. See what's happened. See if you have the sensation of moving one piece if you have the sensation that your spine will bend a little bit, and see if you have the sensation that actually the opposite, or let's say, sorry, the same shoulder of the sit bones that receive more weight is going higher towards the ceiling compared to the other one. And do this a few times, a little bit more quicker. Stay there, yeah, and see if you really feel that one shoulder is higher. You may see that also your head is higher. And see, shift the weight last time, yeah, you lift your right, for instance, so you shift your weight to the left. You probably see maybe that your left shoulder is higher. You kind of reach with your left hand as you want to grab something. And then you come back.
Wow.
And you do the same again. So you shift the weight on your left, for instance. You allow your right to leave. And see how you breathe. You may want to do this a little bit quicker. Tuck, tuck. And then you come back. And then two butts, sitting bones there, quiet. And perceive the difference between both sides. So see how your left sitting bones is touching the floor compared to the right. Or maybe also your shoulders or all your side has changed. And try to do the same to the other one. I think putting the hands under, you can also go and have a look. You, for instance, you want to lift your left, so you put your left hand under your left sit bones. Yeah, you touch, you feel the space that is in between. You notice that you're shifting the weight on your right. You can also look at that and see, because we have done already the other side, maybe you see that you're not going to like in one piece, but there is kind of an articulation of your spine. Yeah. And then see if it's now is your right shoulder that is going a little bit towards the ceiling compared to your left. You can carry on looking there, or keep your eyes or your face looking forward, but you may see that your head will tilt a little bit. See how you're breathing. If you are exhaling when you go and inhaling when you come back. And do you remember about stretching one arm, so the same arm of the shoulder that is going towards the ceiling, that is the same of the sitting bones where you're shifting the weight. And breathe and see where you see if you can do this in a kind of lighter way. And breathe. What about shifting and go back to the other one? To the left and to the right and to the left and to the right. So you alternate. Keep it simple. Keep it light. Yeah. And then now you can kind of play a little bit with the form. You can kind of, you may let your arms lazily dropping down a little bit. Yeah. So you shift the weight. Maybe now you play with your elbows. Maybe you go very quick and very gentle. What about doing the same, but quick and gentle? Quick and gentle. Yeah. Allowing also other movement. Maybe you want to have both arms, they're just opening, and then you come back to the shifting of the weight. You can imagine to do this upright. What's happening if you do this upright? Yeah, it can become a dance, yeah, of your shifting of the weight, of your sit bones going on top of one foot, of your shoulders. Light, carry on breathing. And then you go back and you sit in your chair, allowing your breathing be probably a little bit more, no, completely quiet, and feel the sensation that you have. Feel if it's easier, stay there sitting, and the sense that you have, of your, of yourself, your shoulder, all of you. Or maybe also your vision is a little bit different. Okay. I don't know how long was this.
I don't know, this was just a delicatessen, exquisiteness of movement. I feel my eyes bigger and I feel the dimension of my body, and I like myself more now. After doing this, that was sensing the self in connection to gravity, how we transfer the weight to one sit bone, and then we build the building blocks in a safe way into the unknown, and we end up dancing. So I thank you so much, Simonetta, because we have an excellent movement practice to even do between work sprints, or I don't know, on the airplane. Well,
oh yeah,
discreetly, I don't know.
This I call all this series that we do probably like kind of a secret dance, because you can do this when you are in a tube, in a bus, and then when you want to dance a little bit more, you maybe you want to have a place where you can explore more your movements.
Yes. And this process that you have just shared with us demonstrates like the nuances of pleasure that can be, and movement that can be expanded to a full dance, and then we go jumping all around the room to the books. And it can be also something that can be like completely intimate when you are like in a boring meeting. So the meeting can be boring, but you can be relating to that experience from your own ownership and your authority on your own experience, and deciding on yourself, and then you will respond to the environment creatively. I love this, Simonetta. Thank you so much. Tell us now.
Thank you so much.
Yes, tell us, how can we know more of this? Like to go, I don't know, the next series.
Okay, so this, I'm actually working on preparing the material to work on my website. I'm very lazy. I don't know, whatever. So I don't have a website, but my name is, if you Google my name, I appear. So it's like, my name is Simonetta Alessandri, and SIMONETTA, and then ALESSANDRI. I mostly teach in London, but I go often also in Italy. I will go in a week time, and I also I teach also internationally when they invite me to for a workshop of master classes. And I'm in Facebook. I always put my event there. And I teach also pure Feldenkrais open classes once a week. And I will start again in September, just finished like 10 days ago. And I'm in different websites, like in the UK Feldenkrais teacher, I'm there. There will be a Zoom session of Feldenkrais in UK in September, the 11th of September. Yeah, this will be an open event. Yeah, so this is, and then my email address is my name, Simonetta Alessandri @gmail.com.
So wonderful. Go find Simonetta and learn from her. She has also a wonderful retreat in Italy at Candia dell'Arte. And we will be looking forward for your website, Simonetta. And yeah,
I will let you know when
yeah.
I hope, hopefully, yeah, maybe before Christmas. Yeah, will be like my goal.
Yeah, it would be a wonderful Christmas present to the world. Your website.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
It's been such a pleasure, Simonetta.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much also to guide very well, and also to synthesize your comment also very, very interesting. It's very good. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
My pleasure. I think this is very important for the essentialists that are listening to us, watching us, and for the world to come back to the senses. So an announcement from Centro de Poder. So for the ones for you that are watching, if you haven't already, go to centrodepoder.com and subscribe to get the essential emails with these episodes delivered to your email. So this is all for now. Catch you next time, and remember to take the time to sense your fire so you can share the flame.
Thank you.